sometimes when I tug my opponent down, I don't get him all the way down. I may get him to this position here where he's on all fours. Now, a couple things I can do. If his weight is mostly on his hands, same deal as before. Tug, from here tug in the butt and spin and come around behind. If his weight is forward, that's an option. Now, sometimes though, they're powering back to where their weight is more towards their feet, and I'm more cautious and concerned about trying to spin because if his weight is back, he's going to be able to reach up and catch my leg as I come around. What I'm going to do here is I'm in this position. Again, I'm on my knee, even though I wouldn't be if I was fighting from this position. But for demonstration purposes, so I don't fatigue Colby out too much here, I'm going to be on my knee. I want you to watch how I transition. Now again, my goal when I'm in this position is to continually be pulling him down and forward. That, while I'm doing this technique, or thinking about this technique that I'm going to show next, that doesn't mean I'm stopping tugging him forward. I continue to try to do that. That's crucial. My route is always to tug him forward and to try to spin behind, either quickly or getting a position of leverage on him to where I can do that slowly. But one way or the other, weight down and in front so that his weight is on his hands and I want to spin. That's my goal. Now, if I can't do that, I want you to watch. My grip goes from here, okay, to here. And notice it happens very quickly. And I want you to notice, too, I'm going to be very chintzy with this elbow. So I'm here to this position here. I want you to notice if I come here and my elbow is up, Colby ducks, and I lose the position. So it's crucial that I control his head, and you can kind of see how I control his head by kind of cranking on it a little bit here. So I'm in this position here, and I come to here, okay? And I pull it under here. Now from here, I want you to notice where my head is. My head is under his armpit. Spin around here. My head is under his armpit. It's like his chin is almost in my top of my head here. Okay, I'm in this type of position here. What I'm going to do from here is this allows me to get an angle on him. Right here, I can get to about here where I don't feel like I can go much further. I'm just not mechanically in good sound position. He can spin a little bit. Other way. Yeah. So it's hard for me to maintain a position where I can spin behind him here. But I can get closer if I change my grip. So from here, if I come to here and down, and I'm going to do that all at once actually, from here, and I come to here, from here, to here. Now from here, I'm just going to kind of rotate a little bit to get an angle. I'm roughly at a 90-degree angle. He's going to try to go away from me. Okay, but the position I'm at, instead of being directly out in front, I've got a bit of an angle, and I'm going to take advantage of that angle. I'm going to take advantage of that angle here by reaching around his waist, not deep, but right up to this position here, still holding onto his chin the whole time, and he's going to be powering out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull myself out and come around behind. My goal is to get from out in front to having an angle, roughly 90 degrees, although he's going to be trying to spin away in all reality. And so I may not get quite that much of an angle, but I'm going to get enough of an angle to be able to grab his waist and to come out. So to transition on my grip, I'm going to be in this position here. I'm going to change my head position, my shoulder position, and my grip all at once. And you'll notice I come low. It's not like this. It's not like I come here, push my head down. It's kind of like almost I'm ducking under it to here. Now from here, I'm just going to come with my knee. I'm just going to come to this position, crunching his head down. I'm going to reach to here. I got to keep control of his chin and his head here. And as I do, from this position here, I'm going to transition with my hip to this position here. Okay, try to bring him down. Sometimes your opponent will nonetheless overpower you. So I've transitioned my grip, and I get to the side, and I'm trying to come around behind. He powers up. Instead of now coming to the waist, I'm going to shift the weight to the far leg. I still have his chin. I'm going to drive his weight to the far leg, and I'm going to come to singles right here and transition. First want to shift his weight, and then transition to the single. Again, this position comes up, or this situation comes up, because I've been really trying to jam him down. I tried to get the angle here so I could come around, but he's already off his arms here. This is just not a very mechanically sound position, because by the time I get around his waist, he's up. And of course, him being on his feet and me being on my knees, he's probably in a much more favorable position. Okay? So I'm not going to continue with that. If I get beat in that position, as he comes up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drive off my feet, push in my shoulder here, put the weight on this leg here. Notice I'm shifting. Now I'm grabbing. Notice I'm still hanging on here. I didn't do this, because by that time he'll have adjusted his position and be able to defend me here. So I'm hanging here. I'm hanging. He powers up. I shift the weight. I transition, and I go single leg. And then you finish it however you would like to in terms of how we went over that in the high single, high head inside single series that we discussed earlier. Now, from the chin position and controlling the triceps position type head and arm, it's the same thing basically. I'm hanging here, I'm tugging, I got my head under now as I'm trying to get the angle here. It's crucial that I'm really jamming his head under as I'm doing that. That is so important. If this is a lazy arm here, he's going to pop up. I'm wasting my time. So it's crucial that this arm is coming and controlling his head very effectively. So from here, I've come to here. I can, again, try to spin out by hip heisting here to get around behind. Again, being cautious of a roll here. Not real deep around his waist. I keep it shallow, sort of up on the side here. I keep my elbow more towards his hip. That makes it more difficult for him to roll me. Alternatively, as I'm tugging down, if he comes up to all fours and actually does power out, from here I'm going to do the same type of thing. I'm going to transition the weight to this leg here, transition to a single. Same basic thing, despite having a somewhat different grip, the principle remains the same. Now, a little variation here. If I have got the head position but without the arm, or I'm trying to choke in here, and Colby here is controlling my arm such that it's very difficult for me to get to the outside to get the grip. If I can just get the grip from the inside, that's frequently sufficient as well. It's not quite as powerful and as mechanically sound as when my palm is down, but I can reach inside and do the same thing too. Naturally, I'm going to have more leverage the further down the arm I get, in other words, fairly close to the elbow at the bottom part of the tricep. So, another option you have, either because your opponent is hand fighting and you're having trouble getting to the outside, or because your arm is inside and you just want to be quick here, I tug to this position here. Same deal, I'm trying to get his arm over his head, whether it's palm down or palm up on the grip.